that's what they do. They do Skype for some reason, but hey, whatever. We're on. You're recording it,
Beautiful.
you know. So let's have fun.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, obviously, and hello from the future, because it is Wednesday morning in Sydney.
That's true. It sure is.
Big month on TVSN, honestly, and you're part of it. They're rolling out the red carpet, of course. It's Beauty Month.
Yes.
How did you originally get involved in TVSN way back in the start with your help with your skincare?
Well, let me kind of go backwards. Let me start again why me as a facial plastic surgeon even got involved in skincare. And skincare was actually because of my surgical perfectionism, kind of my OCD on surgery. It all started really with, which is the pump to month, the Hydroscreen, with the new pump that they have. And really what happened is, when I was doing facelifts and doing face surgery, I identified that when the skin is dehydrated, it's just not as healthy and pliable. It's almost like operating. I'm going to use this kind of an extreme example of operating on a raisin compared to me hydrating it and making it like a grape, because I don't know if when you're a kid you actually peel the skin off a grape. You can actually do that.
I still eat the skin.
I know, but I'm just saying, as a kid, screwing around, you kind of did that. So basically, really what it does, skincare, I noticed that my results, because there's a limitation of what my scalpel can do. You can lift up, it can tighten, but it can't take the texture, the hydration, the tone, the fine lines and wrinkles of the skin. So, so with the facelift, I said, listen, for my result to be dynamic, and it all started with the Hydroscreen, because it's hyaluronic acid, which is a water-loving substance. It holds its weight in about 1,000 times in weight with water. So it's like a big giant water balloon, a hyaluronic acid sphere. And there's microspheres here that are dehydrated and they fill up, and that gives you plumpness and hydration.
Yeah.
And so that's how it started with that, because I started making my surgical results a lot better. And so when we put a skincare formulation together, it's like my medical expertise, knowing all the different skin layers from the epidermis to the dermis to the subcutaneous layer. I use that with, science-based raw materials, really to bring innovative skincare, and in general, my premise has always been, I always like talking about hydration, evening out the skin tone, smoothing out the texture, and firmness of the skin. But of course, that's also, when you do that, it helps your fine lines and wrinkles. So, and when I use these raw materials, and I know I'm answering, maybe I'm answering even some of your other questions.
That's fine.
Everything we use, it's really backed by independent third-party testing on the final formula to make sure that they're effective and efficacious. And I remember I was already doing home shopping network out here in the States.
Right.
And someone I know introduced me to Judy, who is the general manager at TVSN, and she was in Vegas at a show. She was doing I think a jewelry. They were going to a jewelry show because they sell, stones on TVSN. And she met me, and we had about an hour conversation. And she enjoyed my passion about skincare, like I knew what I was talking about. Created by a plastic surgeon, a facial plastic surgeon. And that's how we actually kind of, how it all began. And we've been friends. And when she comes to LA, I see her. When I go out to, it's besides business, it's also a friendship that's developed.
It's serendipity thanks to Judy.
Yep, exactly.
And is it a natural progression? Like, was skincare something that you thought about way back when you did start? Or is it just sort of naturally progressed and thought, yes, this is something I want to do as well to help?
Yeah, it started about 10 years ago or so, and that's when I gave you that story a minute ago, when I was looking at the dehydrated skin. So just go back about 10 years, and that's when I just wasn't happy with the surgical results because it wasn't helping the skin tone.
Yeah.
So that's when I started getting into skincare.
What's your heritage, and background? Were you always destined to become an MD, a doctor, or was there another career that you could have gone down?
When you ask my heritage, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm an American Lebanese boy,
Okay.
born in the United States. A lot of Lebanese in Sydney, Australia.
It sure is. Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I met a bunch of them, and some good Lebanese food, by the way.
Very nice.
So no, I think from the age of 12 or 13, my uncle was a general practitioner.
Yeah.
And my mom said, honey, it'd be great if you became a doctor. Of course, she instilled that a little bit in my head. But then as I got older, I kind of loved it. I said, you know what? I want to be a doctor, even as a little kid. And it looks like that continued all the way up. And now look at me at the age of 61.
Wow,
about a
I
good
did not know that.
25, 25 years of practice so far. And we're still going strong operating.
Yeah.
Doing my show, selling skincare, and doing, got a young baby, 3 boys. I mean, so I'm doing it all.
You're very highly regarded and successful in markets like UK, US, of course, and Australia, but they're all different kind of demographics, different weather patterns. How do you adapt, or is there just a similarity between, those three?
Well, and Canada, and Africa and different places like that, different parts of Europe, no matter where you live. I mean, for me, by the way, Sydney, Australia, is that where you are in Sydney?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. It reminds me of Southern California.
It's so similar. Exactly. I've said that before.
Yeah. So it's like Southern Cal. I mean, the weather might be a little hotter at Bondi Beach or some of these other places there. That sun's so strong.
Our sharks are definitely deadlier.
Yeah, you got your bull sharks, but we got a lot of white sharks, but you have white sharks too. Yeah. You have more attacks than us. The interesting thing, no matter what, is, except maybe for the UK and Canada, it's almost the same. We have, the cold weather, but not snow like you have in California. Yeah. And those are the people, my patients, my number one group of patients are California, of course, because I'm in California. And so that's where skincare, and it really resonated with my clients out here. So my Los Angeles clients, with the weather they face, are pretty much the same as you guys.
Yeah.
So it intertwines itself beautifully, and it's very synergistic in regards when we talk about skincare and surgery, really to give the best results, because as a facial plastic surgeon, I want to make sure that what I do to give you the best results possible. That's my goal.
Well, you're certainly doing that, but could you have ever imagined all those years ago, Doctor, that Botched was actually going to be a success all around the world? I mean, it's a reality show, yeah, and some are better than others, but you've done so well. Like, could you have imagined that first episode that went to air was going to continue?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing season, I think it's going to be launching pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Season 8B, which is 10 incredible episodes coming to you all. So no, I didn't think that we'd be going viral and trending on Twitter or X, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, on the first episode. And, it's a great combination, of the transformation stories, some of the crazy stories, and also the relationship, the brotherly teasing each other.
Yeah, okay. That's part of the fun, obviously. But you mentioned your family before. Is that an easy balance to manage Botched success, your business, and your family? You've got to take time out, I'm assuming, when you can.
Yeah. I mean, I try. I mean, the biggest thing on the weekends, if I'm either number one with the family, 2 might be selling skincare on Skype.
Yep.
With one of the different markets. 3, trying to play a little golf. So I try to really kind of rest up and exercise during the week though in the morning. And really you got to have, I got to tell you, you got to sleep well. I try to get 8 hours of sleep. That's what makes it. I try to work out and weight lift 5, 6 days a week and exercise.
All right.
And diet is okay.
Long as there's a few cocktails.
I need a few cocktails for the whole week. I do. You know, a little bit of nice glass of wine is always nice.
That's it. And I'm a surfer. I like surfing and tennis. Do you play or do either of those two?
A lot of surfers out here. Tennis, I used to play a little bit, but no, I'm not. I mean, that's an incredible sport. I have played what's a huge hit out here is this pickleball.
I've heard of it. Haven't done it. Yeah.
Huge.
Down Under loves you. And do you get a chance to visit very often? And you have a favorite place or places that you like to go on a regular basis?
Double Bay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
stay there usually, and I have a lot of friends in that area.
Yeah.
I stay there when I haven't been there in a while since COVID, quite honestly, but I go every 3 months, probably been there 8 to 10 times, maybe 10 times or so. And either I would stay in Double Bay or I would stay in Manly.
Manly, yes. Good
So
spot.
those are the two places I would stay. And a lot of the Lebanese groups, they live in that Double Bay and all those other areas.
Yes.
And so I would go there and you know, it was fun. We would get together and go have dinner and go to have some good Lebanese food or some of the restaurants out there. So I ended up getting a good group of friends out there.
Good to hear. Well, I hope we cross paths at some point when
You
you
know.
do visit Down Under.
There we
Have a
go.
cocktail. What motivations keep you going? Because obviously technology, that changes things. And, you know, you're pushing boundaries all the time. Does that change it up a bit, technology and
Oh, yeah.
motivations?
Well, for example, I just went to a medical meeting this weekend in Park City, Utah.
Okay.
And a lot of the kids that are working there, either South American or Australian.
Right. There you go. Thumbs
They're
up.
out there. They're out there skiing. A lot of Aussies out there. And so when you go to these meetings, you're learning and you're getting more motivated. You know, for example, you're talking about new innovations in skincare, new innovations, you know, in non-invasive treatments that work with skincare. And then especially now with the whole Ozempic phase, skincare is becoming very important for keeping, you know, the crepey skin away and keeping things nice and tight. But again, you got to be careful when you do that. You got to have your protein and not lose muscle mass. So really, it's all the training and then the various treatments that we do in the med spa and ways to tighten the skin and pre and post-op care before surgery, before lasers. You're constantly keeping motivated and learning.
Yeah.
And remember, not everyone can afford these expensive treatments or surgery that we do.
Yeah.
You know, so my goal is to bring, you know, effective, affordable products really that can help, you know, delay your trip to the scalpel, shall we say. So that's my goal, you know, is to delay or skip it, whether it's the med spa or surgery. And so that motivation, you know, because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a medical professional, it's constant motivation and I constantly learn. Even now at my level in surgery, you still learn things. You can never be cocky when it comes to, you know, learning and being a surgeon. You're a student forever.
Well, you don't come across cocky whatsoever. You're very humble and down to earth.
Thank you, sir.
Your skincare obviously is one thing, and drinking a lot of water, and there's some things that you can do to help your skin in general. But what should you not do? What are some of the things you shouldn't do other than going out in the sun for 6 hours or something?
Well, that's that. And actually, the other thing that destroys you is smoking, because it kills off your microcirculation to your body and your skin, you know, other parts, you know, it destroys your body overall, you know, all the negative things besides cancer, but it ruins your skin.
Yeah.
Dehydration, sun, smoking are some of the bad things you can do. And I'm sure it's genetics, and basically, not taking care of your skin. I mean, for example, my wife said to me, Paul, you use all these products on your face, all your NASSIFMD. The detox pads, the hydro screen, the neck serums, the eye serums, your SPF. But this was a while ago. This is before I had any body products.
Sure.
Because now we have plenty of body products. She goes, you got to, I know you talk all the time about hydration of the face. What about your body?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, you're right. And so now what I've been doing for a number of years now with all the products that we brought out from the crepe inhibitor, out to our hydroscreen souffle from the body, is hydrate and take care of the body. So the bottom thing that makes your skin not great is lack of taking care of your skin.
That's true. I mean, I find you educational. I mean, you're inspiring me. That's great.
There we go.
What can we look forward to in the future for you on TVSN? Obviously, you're well established. Is there any secrets or surprises coming up?
Now, I think the most important thing for me at TVSN is coming up with new, innovative products with different, incredible science-based raw material. That's really transformative. I think as time goes on, we're going to keep getting new ingredients that's really going to keep upping the scale of our skincare to everyone in Australia and New Zealand.
And you're in Hollywood. I mean, you must see some good and bad work. Is there anything that you haven't taken on in Hollywood? Like,
Well,
there's a lot of problems.
If you watch Botched, you'll see a lot of rejection there, number one.
Sure, yeah.
And two, we have patients that come in the office, and I will say that there's about 5 to 7% of patients that I don't want to operate on for one reason or the other. One, their expectations are too high, or there's a psychological issue or a health issue I can't, that makes it dangerous to operate on. Or in a rare situation, I can't help them, or I just can't do what they want. So it happens.
Any perfect actors or actresses out there that you can say that definitely don't need any work ever?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of incredible. I mean, everyone's going to need work at some point.
Fair enough.
I mean, to me, I think most of the actors, the guys, have to be a little bit rugged and have a little bit of wrinkles on their face. I think that's natural, and that's good for men to have a little bit of. They can't be too perfect, and for the women, listen, if you could actually get skincare that acts like a gentle filter on your skin, like we have a soft focus day cream, that's great. Because if you look at some of these actresses, when they're on TV, of course, there's a heck of a lot of makeup to make them look, blemish free.
Oh, of
But
course.
if you look at someone like even Megan Fox, for example, and she's young and she's absolutely stunning, but she's got incredible skin. I mean, another person who's aging beautifully is Jennifer Aniston.
Definitely, yeah. Just had a birthday.
Yeah, I mean, so, and I think living right and doing all the right things and genetics all play a game of that.
Well, I think I'm doing pretty good, seeing I'm in the ocean all the time. And,
there you go. Yeah, you look good, my friend.
Thank you very much. Well, final word to wrap it up. What can you give a message to Australia about, you've got Alpha H and everything else that's so popular, to your TVSN fans and the world in general? What can you just say why they should buy your products and watch Botched?
Well, I mean, let me say, you all may buy it for the first time because you recognize me and you trust me and know that I'm really good at doing these big transformational complex stories. And I'm pretty honest with my patients, and I even give them tough love. So that if I'm going to produce something, it has to be something that is equal to my standards. And so I can promise all of you that when you do try our products, especially, for example, the beauty product of the month, which is the Hydro Screen on TVSN.
Yep.
And you got to also try the detox pads. These are my, even though I have so much more, these are the two hero products. you're going to find something that you're going to transform your skin and you're going to love it.
Well, that's great final word from you, mate. Thank you very much for your time.
Listen, pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you, God willing, in person over there.
Cocktails at Double Bay.
The Cocktails Double Bay. Take care.
See you, mate.
Bye-bye.